Dubrovnik. Once a city-state, is now one of the cultural and tourist centers of the Republic of Croatia. Stone walls and statues of the patron Saint Blaise still surround and protect the city. Fortresses, palaces, streets, churches, museums, and other valuable buildings bear witness to the rich history and attract tourists from all over the world. Dubrovnik is the pearl of the Mediterranean, the city of the World Heritage that cannot be forgotten and the place where many come back. Dubrovnik-Neretva County is the most southern part of Croatia. The nature here is preserved and ecologically protected, with numerous monuments, customs, and other landmarks that testify to the extraordinary heritage and historical continuity. Dubrovnik is the cultural, administrative, and tourist center of the county. On the east is Župa Dubrovačka and Konavle. The western part constitutes of Dubrovnik Riviera, the Valley of Neretva, Pelješac Peninsula, and islands of Korčula, Mljet, and Lastovo. These are konavle. We're showing only a few of the possible paths and trails that reveal the harmony of space and the beauty of the landscape. The traditional way of life and inherited values are the wealth that the people of Konavle cherish and show to the world. Nature has been generous here, and its gifts offered to travelers and tourists who come to Konavle are almost tangible. The urban center of Konavle is Cavtat. Here is the house of painter Vlaho Bukovac and Račić family mausoleum, the work of sculptor Ivan Meštrović. Carnival festivities are a tradition, and some of the main cultural events, to name a few, are the Epidaurus Festival, the Heritage Association, and Konavle Art. Roman temple, Dumitros and aqueduct, as well as Illyrian cemetery tombstones, little churches and monastery in Pridvorje are all witnesses of history. Rural households, family farms, restaurants based on tradition, rural architecture, highly comfortable tourism, natural wonders, and historic sites make a visit to Konavle a unique experience. These are mainly the outer spaces of Konavle, but the old or renovated stone houses hide their own curiosities. Bokarica family from the town of Gruda has made a real ethno-museum in their own house. Along with very interesting exhibits from the past, they also offer a suitable accommodation to tourists. Brautović family from Očići has turned an old farm building into a modern and comfortable tourist facility. Farmhouse Novaković in Čilipi greets guests in a traditional way. They offer their own products in a tavern with wine cellar, so the touch and taste of nature here is very real, for body and soul as well. Mills on the river Ljuta are one of the most recognizable trademarks of Konavle. Tavern Vinica Monković in Ljuta offers lunch in the shade of the laurel trees along the river bank and specialties prepared under the bell. Nearby is Konovski Dvori, once a mill, today one of the most famous restaurants in Dubrovnik Riviera. The mill Šapro in Zastalje dates from the time of the Dubrovnik Republic. The area for manufacture of olive oil has been converted into a tavern with a fireplace. Here you can try the house specialty of Konavle, green minestrone. Have fun riding in one of these brass pets or join the Konavle safari. You have seen only a part of the interesting locations and cuisine. The people of Konavle had been living, and many still do, of and for wine. Their wines are known worldwide and have won many national and international awards and prizes. Vineyards and winery Crvik from Komaja continue the family tradition, and a large number of those who come to Konavle have passed down their wine road. Besides many other quality wines in this region, they also produce the famous Malvazija of Dubrovnik. Dubrovački Podrumi is the largest wine house, with the largest vineyards as well of the Konavle area, and they collaborate with other winemakers. Tradition of winemaking runs from the 19th century, and they showcase their products in Gruda. There is also a large winery and wine tasting facility. Enologist Niko Karaman from Pridvorje is a world champion and has won many awards for his Malvazija of Dubrovnik. In the open space in front of his house, guests can hear the interesting story of Malvazija that has been produced as such a protected variety since the time of the Dubrovnik Republic. The variety had almost been gone, only to be found again, and today is the best-known wine of Konavle. The special offer is prošek, a real sherry made in a traditional way from dried wine grapes. Also interesting is a distinctive arrival to wine tasting via a special train ride through Konavle. Unlike the train ride, cyclists enjoy a self-propelled ride. Passing through villages and natural trails of preserved landscape is especially satisfactory. Kojan Korov from Popović organizes special events and four-wheel rides. Quieter, but equally interesting, is the recreational horseback riding trail over the Konavle rocks. Many tourists tour Konavle by hiking trails. The family Vrotović Promočići welcomes weary walkers with fresh drinks and products from their garden. They offer fish lunch and local specialties in a beautifully decorated area, partially older than 500 years. Fishermen from Molonat are also part of the story of Konavle. Tradition of olive growing is very old, and many households still produce oil for their own use. A possible olive oil route led us to the family farm Glavinja from Komai. Here they produce extra virgin oil, gold of the south, from several varieties of olives. The old cellar, which once guarded the wine, was transformed into a new olive oil tasting room and open to visitors. During our story about the touches of nature in Konavle, you may have noticed that many people of Konavle, young and old, love to wear traditional costumes. It has been so since the ancient times, so the Folklore Association from Čilipi greets tourists with music and dance every Sunday. There is also a museum of Konavle in Čilipi where, among other things, you may find valuable exhibits of Konavle embroidery. Painter Antonija Radonić-Rusković has a collection of valuable embroideries more than 100 years old. She cultivates silkworms in her studio and shop in Gruda, while the silk threads are still used for manufacturing parts of traditional costumes. We have introduced you to some of the paths and trails in Konavle, which you can reach by boat, car and bus, just like Dubrovnik. The fastest way is using the plane to Čilipi airport. If you're already here or plan to visit soon, visit Đurović Cave, situated under the platform in the heart of the airport. Šipan Cave is located in Cavtat. Amphora findings bear witness to ancient times and rich seabed close to Cavtat. Sokol Tower in Dunave is a special attraction and landmark of Konavle. After years of restoration, the Association of Friends of Dubrovnik Antiquities restored it and opened up for visitors. Staying in this, witness to the rich history, as is a special experience as the view from the top of Sokol Tower to Konavle. Some of the households that we have visited are members of Konavle Agrotourism. The association emphasizes preservation of traditional peculiarities among rural and elite tourism. In our story about the touches of nature in Konavle, we have shown only a fraction of the possible wine, oil and other good tasting roads you might expect. There are even more trails and paths. Find your own. Come to Konavle. You're welcome.